Startups don't fail at a single moment in time. They fail or succeed across phases. Each stage of the startup lifecycle brings momentum, pressure, and a new set of decisions. In the earliest phase, momentum is everything. Founders are building, selling, iterating, often all at once. Speed matters, scrappiness matters, and instincts are often sharper than process. But this is also when some of the first signals are easiest to miss. Those signals that something might be off. Leaders confuse early traction with repeatability. A few wins feels like validation, and feedback that contradicts the narrative is treated as just noise. At this stage, the most common misstep is moving faster than you're learning. And the signal that gets missed is not knowing why customers are saying yes to you. As the company grows, the problems change. There are more people, more customers, more decisions. Momentum now comes from expansion, like hiring, entering new markets, bringing new offerings to market. And leaders often assume clarity will scale on its own. It doesn't. This is where alignment starts to fray. Teams interpret strategy differently, positioning kind of drifts, decision-making slows, not because people are confused necessarily, but because priorities aren't shared or aren't as shared and clear as leadership believes. The misstep here is that ambition, that desire to grow, is outpacing internal alignment. And the signal that gets missed is when execution starts to feel hard and heavier than it really should. In later stages, structure increases. Processes get built, metrics multiply, governance tighten. This is necessary, but it introduces a new risk, mistaking structure for clear understanding. Leaders assume that because systems are in place, decisions will magically improve automatically. But without judgment, systems just enforce existing assumptions faster, even if they're not the right ones. At this stage, the misstep is designing for control instead of designing for learning. And the signal that often gets missed is when teams are following processes perfectly, but still making the wrong calls. So here's the common thread across every stage. There are signals. They never go away. They might just get a little quieter. Early on, they show up in customer hesitation. Later in internal friction. Eventually, in missed targets and urgency-driven decisions that aren't always the best for the company. The leaders who succeed aren't the ones who avoid missteps. Sometimes it's impossible. They're the ones who notice the signals and they act while options still exist. So if you're leading a startup at really any stage, here's a question worth asking. Which phase are we in? And which signals, which market signs are we rationalizing away? Momentum might feel good, structure might feel safe, but awareness is what actually sustains long-term growth and success. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to explore more, you can find other videos here on leadership, growth, and signals startups tend to miss.